Welcome to MLB Now, presented by Chase for Business. We are the show for the thinking fan. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Brian Kenny, taking you up to the Padres and Pirates at 12:30 Eastern. Ball game a half hour away. Padres facing a sweep. Malaise is everywhere. We'll get to the Padres, the Cardinals, the Mets, all losing again yesterday. Dan O'Dowd is here. His take on Steve Cohen's comments yesterday. Ownership is now speaking and getting involved. Rob Parker will drop in as well. Perfect game last night. Crazy. We'll discuss. But first, we need to be reminded now and then just how astounding it is what we are watching on a weekly basis right now. Because right now, a guy with the second best strikeout rate in the league is also the #1 hitter in the game. With the injuries to Aaron Judge and Yordan Alvarez, Shohei Ohtani has become the #1 force in baseball at the plate. This needs to be properly recognized. Let's show some respect and do a little digging in. I mean, when you saw him in his rookie year, it became obvious that Shohei Ohtani, in his age 23 season, could actually pitch and hit successfully in the U.S. major leagues. But to what extent? I don't know how many of us saw this coming. On the mound, and I maintain he's a better pitcher than hitter, he started the year with a 0.64 ERA over his first 5 starts. He's had some rough starts since. His walk rate is near a career high, but he has not missed a start all year. That's a first this season. He has 95 innings halfway through the season and an RA9 WAR. That's runs allowed per 9 with an innings component mixed in. He is 10th best in baseball. His strikeout rate is a career high and is second only to Spencer Strider of the Braves in the majors. But where he started the year as a premier pitcher, it's now at the plate where he is separating himself. Ohtani leads all of baseball in home runs, OPS plus, and total bases. He also leads in triples, and he's second in RBIs. I don't know why the total bases thing blew my mind, but it did. Leading the league in total bases means you are showing up every day and producing. It's the mark of excellence and consistency. I want to underline this. Halfway through the season, Ohtani has 205 total bases. He's on target for 400 total bases for the year. Not many guys outside of Colorado and the fellas from the testosterone era have done that. Stan Musial, Hank Aaron, Jim Rice, 1978, the MVP year. But this guy could do it while he's also pitching. If you recall a previous essay on this show, we said we have yet to see peak Shohei Ohtani. That's the ultimate season that he could have, with him hitting the way he did in 2021. This is OPS plus and ERA plus. And his OPS plus, that's hitting 157 in 2021. His ERA is still quite good, 141. Now, it's not bad, but it's not quite his hitting. Then last year, it was his pitching that was better. His ERA plus is 172. 100 is league average, by the way. So both numbers are great. But now his hitting goes down so to speak, everything's relative, to 144. So could you combine, this is what I was wondering, could you combine the OPS plus of 157, the ERA plus of 172, like the true greatness? This year, the OPS plus career high, way up at 182. That's an MVP right there. Best hitting year by far. ERA plus is down, so to speak, to 144. But he's kind of regained his stride on the mound. I think this number is going to be shooting higher and higher. Higher is better. This will get better. There's so much that this guy is producing right now. He's hitting 300 for the first time. His K rate is the best it's been, and he should set a career high in innings pitched while leading the majors in total bases. He leads the majors in WAR by a wide margin. There's the top 5 right there. He could finish, Dan O'Dowd, with a 12-win season. That would put him up there with the best of all time. So I just want to say it. We kind of take it for granted. Shohei Ohtani is exceeding expectations, obviously doing things that have never been done before in the history of modern baseball.
Well said. I mean, I don't know if there's any more words to describe, quite honestly, what he's doing day in and day out. It's mind-boggling. If you think about it, some of the best two-way players in our game play high school baseball. Starting shortstop is also the starting pitcher. They dominate both ends. Even at the high school level, no one's doing what he's doing at the major league level. That's in perspective. That's how dominant he actually is, BK. And it's a compelling argument to make of what he's better at, because he's now showed that he can dominate in both phases of the game.
See, I threw that in there, and I still maintain it. I'm going to hold to it. I think he's a better pitcher. And
I lean the other way.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do, only because, I've struggled with this a little bit, and I'll throw this at you. Does the fact that he pitches some now make him a better hitter because he's not so obsessed with swing mechanics all the time? that he has to focus so much on his pitching.
That's interesting.
When he hits, he's not obsessed because the game is so mental from a hitting standpoint to begin with.
So he's just going natural.
I think he is so much.
In this day and age where guys are doing so much study.
I don't think he is. I don't think he has time to. I think there's a limited amount of time.
But I think the hitting hurts his pitching. I think,
I agree with that.
He leads the league in total bases.
I agree with
that. That blows my mind that he's there, number one. Now, like Corey Seager, Yordan Alvarez, and Aaron Judge are close in OPS plus. But he has 130 more plate appearances than those guys. Those guys have all been hurt at various times. So that's why he's number one.
And then all three of those guys, they don't run the bases like this guy runs. Like, we never talk about the fact how incredible he is from an impact standpoint when he gets on base. First to third, scoring from first on a double, taking the extra base hit, dirt ball reads, stolen bases. He's like a whole nother player when he gets on base, too. He's just superlative. I mean, when he bought his talent here, he also bought his imagination here.
Right.
Because he's created a whole new game for us.
Let me ask you that, because you're very involved in the draft, right? So now when you see a two-way player, and they still exist, right, at the college level or absolutely at the high school level, do you necessarily say this guy's got to choose, or has this opened your mind and maybe baseball's mind to, hey, maybe?
Yeah, kid of Florida, Caglione, I think it opens your mind that, you know, does this kid have the possibility to do it? But boy, when you really watch each individual player, they still don't, there's nowhere near the feel, the athleticism, the body awareness, the mental capability of handling this. I think he's truly a unicorn in the history of our game.
Yeah, I think him being the best offensive player in the game hurts his pitching, which is unfortunate. That's like, but he's the number one offensive player in the game. It's staggering. We'll take a short break. When we come back, again, a quick show today leading up to the Padres and the Pirates. Rob Parker will join us for the showdown. The perfect game. Yeah, if a tree falls in the forest and you only hear it in Oakland, does it make a sound? That and the greatness of Ohtani. Rob Parker next.
MLB Now.
Back here on MLB Now, again, getting ready for the All-Star break. You've got the starters reveal starting on the 29th. When's the 29th? Isn't that today? That's today. Tonight, 7 each. It just struck me by surprise there. Then the All-Star Selection Show, the historically black colleges Swingman Classic. Again, that's Friday, July 7th. You can see it right here on MLB Network. The Futures game as well. Keep going, get closer to the game itself. The Draft, Sunday, July 9th, right here on MLB Network. Home Run Derby on ESPN. Red Carpet on MLB Network the day of the game. The game itself, 8 Eastern. You can see it on Fox.
The showdown is not meant to cause offense or harm. The viewer acknowledges any reliance on the accuracy or completeness of said content should be done at their own discretion. The host apologizes in advance for any affront as a result of personal attacks.
Our good pal is Rob Parker, although he has some takes I don't quite agree with all the time. Rob, good to have you back on. So I just did the whole thing on Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if you saw it, and you're saying you want more out of this guy. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying I want more, but it's you can't do it in just a couple of seasons where people are ready to crown him the greatest player of all time. I'm just not in that group.
How many? How many do you need?
I need 8 years of this before I'm buying in that he's the greatest player.
Okay, so this is season 3 of combining both, even though he had a prior 2 or 3, right, including the short season. But, I mean, what he did the first 2 years when he was, getting hurt and everything, that hadn't been done. What he's doing now, these last 3, no one's even come close to doing that. He's like a Hall of Famer by next year, Rob. I'm serious.
No, it's not. Because if he falls off after that and he doesn't have any good seasons or just the average seasons, he's not a Hall of Famer. I mean, a Hall of Famer is about putting up certain numbers and also longevity.
It's not about, it doesn't have to be, by the way, you're making that up. It does not have to be that. It can be about just remarkable achievements on the field. You have to play 10 years. That's like the only thing that they say. And this could be it.
Don Mattingly had BK 4 of the greatest offensive years ever.
Don Mattingly should be in the Hall of Fame. And he should be in the Hall of Fame. You guys blew that. You guys, you voters, you should have put Don Mattingly in.
We didn't blow that. He didn't do it long enough. He needed to do it more than just 4 years.
You're making that up. You're saying he didn't do it long enough, not me. So you're on both sides of the argument. All right, perfect game last night. Where are you on that?
Man, it's special. Anybody who can poo-poo a perfect game is ridiculous. I covered David Wells' perfect game in 1998 at Yankee Stadium against the Twins, and I remember that, just watching it unfold. About the 6th inning or so, I was like, talking to other writers in the press box, BK, like, he's going to do this. The Twins were popping up foul in the infield. I was like, they can't square the ball up.
Yeah.
So it's a special moment. And I know people want to talk about, well, he had some sticky stuff. Oh, this and that. He didn't have sticky stuff last night. And I don't care if it came against the Oakland A's. Nobody else has had a perfect game against them.
It's been 10 years, right? 11 years. So, no, it's remarkable. It was done, again, it's not their fault, but it's Oakland, late night. It's probably going to get less press than most would. And even I'm not like, I didn't lead the show with it. Normally, I don't know if it was Max Scherzer at Citi Field, right? We'd be leading the show with it. It's Erman, checkered past in Oakland, late night. It kind of is what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to tip my cap to him. You go out there, you compete. Those are other guys on the Oakland A's are major league players. Yeah, well, and to do that, it is not easy. You know that, BK.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Look, you're right. I'm going to move on. Right, you're right. Right. Hey, you sold on Ellie De La Cruz yet?
No, I'm not sold on Ellie De La Cruz.
You are missing a very big boat, my friend. You're missing the Queen Mary. You're missing a luxury liner. You're really missing it.
He's 3 for his last 22. Can we talk about Jordan Walker? Can we talk about the kid who has a 16-game hitting streak, who rested last night, who opened up his major league career, BK, with a 12-game hitting streak?
He's a good
something
player.
Nobody had done in 110 years.
He's a very good player. And actually, their offensive production hitting-wise is reasonably close. De La Cruz, though, is playing shortstop, or he could play shortstop. He's the fastest guy in the field with the strongest arm in the majors. I don't know how you beat that.
I get all that, and I love his enthusiasm. I love his energy, all of that. But I just think we're crowning people. He reminds me, and I hate to say it,
what?
But the way people said stuff about Yasiel Puig when he first came up with his strong arm, BK, you remember they were beating the drum that he should be on the All-Star team his rookie year. He hadn't even played a lot of games. I get the energy. I get the excitement. But no, pump the brakes. Not yet.
You're so wrong. But Puig flamed out, did not have the fundamental skills. This kid's got polish already. I did an essay. You don't watch my essays, but I've gotten used to that.
I do watch it. I never miss your essays.
Rob, we got to go, pal. Half-hour show. We'll see you next time. All right.
All right. Thanks, BK.
1 out of 3 isn't bad, Rob. When we come back, we got to get the underperforming teams. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like this. So the owner spoke out before the Mets game.